Hey, you there. Just wanted to let you know you are now listening to the AK Mindset Podcast.
Hi guys, hope all is well. Welcome back to episode 5 of the AK Watch following OSHI Co. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was tempted to say Lovers War. I don't know why my mind is going to Lovers War. Old habits. With me is Daniel. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah, back again, episode 5, and as always, just here to have a good time. It was kind of a packed episode. I felt it was really a lot of different parts happening, so interested to see what your takeaways and highlights were.
100%. Oh, let's get stuck in as usual. Reality dating show episode 5, following the events of last week's, when we kind of got introduced to the idea or the notion that Aqua will be joining this reality TV show, and this is basically the events of that. And in the beginning, we kind of see what I kind of noticed was how, you know, the characters are so kind of uniquely compromised or compositioned. But you see how with Ruby, she's so kind of excited to start an idol group, but then she also has that prideful nature where she doesn't want to be the one to, you know, be upfront about who can be in, especially with her relationship with Kana. Like she disclosed, even though she has great ambition to, you know, make sure we move forward with this idol group, she kind of still has to get over herself in a way. And I think as we continue to progress, and especially in this episode, you could see that it's like a good life lesson for me. Like that's what stood out for me. It's like sometimes when you have a bigger ambition or bigger goal and there's something you're heading towards, like you sometimes you can be in the way of your own self just because of like your pride or your ego, and it's something that you kind of have to let go.
Yeah, Ruby was being a bit disrespectful to Kana because, you know, she acknowledged she has all the attributes to be a popular idol, you know, good face, popular, and she knows that she's going to be good with the idol fans, but she still didn't want to invite her because of her pride. And I was just like, I don't know, it just shows how childish she kind of is. She's just like, oh yeah, I don't want to admit that, but you know, you're the one who wants to be doing you want to be doing your work soon. So I mean, it's time to just like suck it up. And she did. She asked her, and then, you know, I just thought that whole opening few minutes, it was good. You know, I liked how it was presented, all the expressions, and then I think what they're doing well is the more light-hearted scenes, like just the way Kana would be making these reaction faces, and then the way Ruby looks as well. She kind of has that attitude that you expect from the younger sibling. But yeah, I think she did the right thing in the end. I mean, she kind of had to. It wasn't really a choice. So now Kana is going to be a child actor turned idol. I don't know. I know she's not really pleased about it, but
She
have to do what
she
you
got
have to do
pressured
to
into that
survive
though.
it.
She got pressured.
Oh yeah, Aqua definitely he manipulated her into it, but he did say he didn't lie, so he does think, you know, that she is cuter than most of the idols out there. So that shows that like he has them two. They still have this like relationship. You know, it's kind of like a special relationship so far that I've noticed anyway. Like there's like this connection between them two, where like I feel like he definitely acts a lot different when he's interacting with her compared to other people in the show.
No, I definitely agree. I'll definitely say there's a kind of mutual respect of their craft and them as individuals, as people, and their character that they both hold. Mutually, they respect each other in that way, and there's also a kind of admiration. Like I do believe Aqua admires how much Kana has grown and is kind of appreciative of the kind of friendship that they kind of build in terms of he can fully be himself and not have to pretend to be anything else. And with Kana, it's like she admires a lot about him, and she's comfortable with him just being him, which is the cold, mysterious, kind of headstrong but quiet, but having good character in terms of very sincere, very loving, very protective, someone who likes to protect the people that he really cares about, even though sometimes it might be extreme, but I guess it has to be done by somebody. All the time, to be honest. We're giving them props. It's all the time. It's extreme. I kind of wanted to hear about, because it's something that has continued to come up in the last 4 previous episodes, is the kind of significance of just being conventionally attractive in the industry. Like, is it every day? That's all we're hearing in every episode. Like,
I mean, it matters though, doesn't it? We see it even today. I mean, I don't really watch most of these reality TV shows like, Love Island, Love is Blind, all them things, but like, you don't see, ugly dons on it. Quote, just to be blunt, you don't see people who aren't attractive, because they got the quota to me. They want people to be watching, and people like watching good-looking people. So it's sorry to say, unless they're like being made fun of, that's the only time you see unattractive people.
No, I hear it. I guess it is part of the territory. It's something that kind of goes hand in hand with the top level or even the middle level industry in, like, when it comes to entertainment. It's aesthetics first, and then depths and morals and realness lastly, as kind of showcased in like a latter end to this episode. Do you think that, because for me, I just felt like I do understand that Kana was kind of pressured into this situation, but moving beyond that, is this a good move for her? Because she was very kind of recollective of what the significance of this move, what it would mean for her career, what it would mean for her opportunities, what it would mean for her ability to stay relevant. And obviously she sees the great aura and potential of Ruby, and just it's coming again. You see, Ruby, oh my days, it's one and the same. It's the source is there. So, like, do you think it's a good risk to take? Would you take it?
It's tough, I feel, why not, because I think in the long term, it'll be, you might as well try, because I think the acting thing right now is not looking too hot. And I only say yes because of Ruby, and because of the way she acknowledged her potential, and that, she was getting that, the aura of and she's like, yeah, she's the real deal. So, and she only worked with her once, and for her to sense that potential in Ruby, that for me is worth working with her, because that tells me that we might be going somewhere if this idol thing really kicks off. So yeah, what about you?
It's tight, I'm not gonna lie to you, because like when she was processing through all her thoughts, I was thinking, I'm not gonna lie, the rational in me is saying, like, what you have now, even though it's limited, you are still getting some opportunities in the industry, and maybe if you continue to stick out at it, you'll be able to break through in the way that you know you can, just trusting in your talent, trusting in your innate ability. But then I also understand the opposite of, sometimes like opportunities need to be taken and risks need to be taken, and you never know where this new door could lead to, especially when you're kind of connecting with somebody who has the potential to be larger than life, like, and to really attract and garner public affection. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I am the type of person who, like, I would be more prone to take the risk and say, why not go all out and see what happens here, rather than just being kind of mediocre or not really hitting their extent. Because I feel like, especially acting, there's always going to be some sort of way to work. Like, it's not all about being a child actor or being a teenage actor. Like, a lot of actors start their career later in life, so like you're always going to have the opportunity to kind of go back to it.
Yeah, and I think you can probably get more opportunities now that she's in an agency, rather than being by herself. She's not going to be exploited like she was with the Sweet Today thing. Now that she has someone backing her, she has like more of a better support system than she did previously. So that's another benefit of joining the agency to become an idol. And it's not just that she has to be an idol. I think because like we saw she expanded to do other work. So the door to acting, like I think you mentioned, is always open to her, even though she's switching to the idol industry.
No, it's very well said. And kind of moving on to Aqua the deceiver, Aqua the liar, Aqua the Aqua the elite actor. This guy, I can't believe
I'm not good at acting,
bro. He's a liar. He's a liar. The same mouth said that I could not act. I have no talent. I'm not like Ruby. There's nothing really innately special. Man changed his whole energy. Man was a different person. Like, the Kana and Ruby reaction had me in tears. They said, "Who is he? Who is he?" Oh my days. What do you think about that reveal though? Him on a date. It feels like he's gonna be a good fit, especially the kind of character that he's trying to kind of portray. And it's kind of like the basic typical teenage romance reality show. And what he's showcasing, I know he has the ability to kind of, because he also has that attention grabbing ability like Ruby and and I think it's really going to be showcased well in the show.
Yeah, I think the whole reality, just the reality TV show bit was very interesting. Just the way Aqua changed his personality. Personally, I think that's just mad draining because he's basically putting on an act for the whole show, and then it's something that's really the direct opposite to how he normally is. So for me, that's just super duper draining, but I respect the way he's able to do that. And then I think what I liked about that whole section was just learning about the direction involved in reality TV shows. How it's not a script, but it's the directors telling them, oh yeah, just be aware of the cameras, but don't be staring at them. It's just like positioning yourself to make the viewers be more engaged and feel part of the show and feel like they're really following what you're doing. So yeah, I thought that was good. And then you kind of see the different characters that he's going to be interacting with. I think the character that he's playing is going to be obviously appeal to the girls who's watching the show, because it's like the innocent young guy who's like he's the first year, he's one of the youngest characters in the show. So I think especially with the whole positive energy he's giving off, it's gonna have a lot of people interested in him, so it's gonna help the show be a lot more successful. But I wanted to ask, what did you think about the other actors who were introduced? Well, not actors, I guess people who are going to be part of the show.
I think the casting did a great job, and a lot of people from kind of like you have people in bands, a YouTuber, just getting a kind of range of entertainers, young entertainers together. I think that was a good aspect. I don't know how I really feel about them because I don't know how authentic they're being. because you see like the interaction with that girl, like when they were talking, like they're also aware of them being on a show that I don't know which part of them is real. I don't know what. Like that's the really the tricky bit in regards to reality TV show. It's like what is real, what is fake, and what can you believe, what is part of their character, what is their act, what are they, trying to make me feel, trying to control my viewing, my perspective. But generally speaking, I do think it's a cheesy, interesting group of people. And we will see how Aqua is able to manipulate everything around him to get what he needs and get where he wants to go. Because in a way, I feel like everybody in the entertainment industry and even these groups, like they all have their own agenda on what they're trying to, how they're trying to be viewed and how they want people to see them. And the entertainment industry is like a manipulation game, like manipulating viewership, how people perceive you and the light, and trying to control that. It's the hardest thing to control, but that's what they're trying to control. And I think these group of people, they'll do it well. I think this will be a very popular show, and you can already tell like how easily it's going to be for them to gain engagement when you look at Kana and Ruby just watching the introduction. Obviously they have invested interest being that Aqua is on it, but already Ruby and Kana are kind of invested in the other characters, saying like Ruby's like, this one can't date my brother, why this, and obviously kind of just moving kind of jealous in regards to just the nature of the show and what it might lead to.
Yeah, I think when you were talking about real or fake, the scene with Yuki, the black hair girl, that scene is what like stands out to me, because they were having a conversation, and I think that was a very important moment just for Aqua, and then just the being he is, because he is the guy who was reincarnated. So, but then before he was reincarnated, he was a fan, but then after the person he was a fan of became his mother. So it's a kind of a weird relationship he has with Ai. But before I go on to that, I just wanted to talk about the thing with Yuki, because you thought they were having a conversation, and then like it kind of switched, and then she was just like, oh yeah, the camera's there, and then it kind of gives you a sense of confusion, because you're like, how much of that was actually genuine? Because she's talking about, oh, last time there was people who were kissing at the end of the show, and then she was like, oh yeah, you seem like a person that I could do that with, and then you're like, oh, does she like him? But then you see that she was talking about the camera. It kind of shows how the awareness, because she made that a good scene because of the way she was able to draw out Aqua's emotions whilst being aware of the camera being with them, by not changing her behavior. So he's surrounded by some good actors as well.
100%, some real top talent. Like, it's just crazy her understanding that the environment that she's in, any moment can be a great hit moment, and there's always opportunity in any conversation where if there's a camera around, they're more than likely to have it rolling. So just be ready. And she looks like she's going to be one to, take all her opportunities. She's going to be one of the fan favorites, it seems. She seems cool, but we'll definitely see. I kind of heard you kind of hinting towards the problematic relationship I could be having with Ai, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, bro, you might love her too much, and I feel like you're even confused because of your double life you've lived. Like your love for her is so mixed up. Like it's a bit weird.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's well, I wouldn't really say it's weird. He's in a strange situation, to be honest. Because when he was talking about love, I don't think it was romantic love, and I think he knows that too. Because I think when he was the Doctor, the love he had for her was probably more admiration, respect. And then when it was his mother, it was more familial love, you know. It kind of changed, but I don't think it was never a romantic love. But it's still hard for him to let go of that because of the experience he had. But I think when she was talking about, oh yeah, it's kind of like a love for a teacher. I mean, I don't really agree, but you know, I guess it's like one of those forbidden loves. So I see the angle. I mean, like, no one should be loving their teachers, and if the teacher's entertaining it, then they should be in prison. But I understand what kind of angle she was going for, where, you know, it's loving someone you shouldn't really be in love with. But I mean, love comes in a lot of different forms. So, and then it doesn't have to always be romantic. It can be respect, admiration, blah 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 blah. Yeah.
But this guy, he loves too strong, man. His love is taking him places, making him do stuff that is, I don't know if it's healthy for him. Like Aqua, it's time to you know, find acceptance, release, forgive.
You'll find release when his dad's dead, man.
When he's standing over his dad's body, just looking at it, he's like, yes, peace, but eyes glowing. He'll probably unlock the other star in his, I think it's his right eye. He'll probably unlock that as soon as he gets the kill. There's no going back. Actually, no going back. You kind of continue to see how, like, Ruby's childishness, and which is kind of cool because she does remind me a lot of, like I said before, from Love Is War, Chica. Just her, I said it before, but her energy, but just her continue to have, I don't know what, if it's being overprotective of Aqua or just wanting to have control. So like it goes like hand in hand with everything she kind of says throughout the last 4 episodes, but especially in this episode when she's like, I have to kind of choose who your partner is, because, you know, if I don't like her, then this relationship is not making sense. I don't know if it's just her youthfulness, and which is kind of self-centered nature when you're young and you think everything revolves around you, or if she is generally kind of caring or being protective of Aqua.
I think she's just being childish, and she doesn't want. I mean, a bit, you know, possessive. You know, we haven't really seen that side of her. More the side of Aqua trying to protect Ruby and making sure like no harm comes to her. So it's kind of nice to see it flip, where she's like, I don't want no bad girl dating my brother. She needs to be someone that I approve of first. So I like that. I like that.
No, it was very funny. Especially when her notion of who to choose is so wrong, and Aqua's response, like, hey, just going by your track record you just showcased, leave dating. Like, you shouldn't be dating. That actually cracked me up.
Yeah, she doesn't have a son in eye because she fell for the acts that the girl put on Yuki.
She would fall for all the acts. She'd actually be finished. But to be honest, it was an elite showcase of acting, because she had me fooled in the first half until she whispered those words to Aqua. I thought, wow, Aqua, is that you? Getting gal like that? Different. The source is different. Very different. Do you know?
I think there was truth in it.
You think so?
I think she probably just played it. She just probably played it up for the camera.
But don't you find? I feel like that's so annoying though, because that's why, like, I would hate to be on these reality TV kind of shows, or because I see the aspect of, yeah, there probably is some sort of sincerity to it, but I think that is so like diluted or distorted when you use that as kind of fuel to then, you know, like hype more up just for the cameras, you know, just for airtime. It's like, what are we doing? That's why I feel like a lot of these relationships in the like real world coming out of reality TV shows. They always seem to end because like some of it was real, but a lot of it was from a directed fake place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is work for her. I mean, and she was mentioning that there's another person in her agency who takes up all the work. So this is really her only chance to, showcase herself, showcase her personality to get more roles. So she's kind of desperate at this point in time to put herself in the viewer's eyes, and that by doing that, the only way to do that is making sure she's in the most scenes, and that the director likes the way she's acting or like showing herself in the show, to include those cuts of her, because not everything they film is gonna make it into the show. So yeah, I mean, but I guess it's just business for her at the end of the day.
She said business is business. Business is business. There was one key part of this episode that I was really tuned into, like heavily. It was when the pigeon guy, the dench human being, was giving YouTube advice, because I thought, we're trying to get our subscribers up. Were you listening as keenly as I was, bro?
Kind of, but then like I just thought it was just that whole thing was just funny. Man said I bring in 100 million yen a year, and she was just like, oh, I'm sorry. She didn't understand, because that's $500,000. That's big money in pounds. For him to be bringing that in as a YouTuber, he's serious. Can't lie.
Very serious. That's why I can't even question his choice of attire. Like, I need to get my money up before I can even chat to him about the way he chooses to present himself. You know what I mean? Because clearly, he's living a different life. But I would definitely be taking in some of his techniques, and hopefully, we might have to do a chicken head video aside where we see if that pulls in more viewers.
They uploaded the choreography on YouTube on their actual channel, so you could actually learn it.
Is it? I'm dead. I'm about to actually watch
it's on their channel. Like there's an actual man doing it. Like, he's got the mask on. Well, not that chicken mask, but he's wearing a mask.
That's actually funny. What do you think about the birth of B Mochi, man? I feel like
B Komachi.
B Komachi, that's the one. Don't say B Mochi. I missed the Ko. How can I miss the Ko? That's crazy. But could be the birth of something special. Something special. I like how Kana is just so light-hearted that just gives Ruby the rite of passage to name the band.
I mean, it's kind of her singing it, so I understand why. But I think it's interesting, because I think I's group was BCom actually, so it's a bold decision to use the same name, because obviously that's going to invite comparison, of course, like most things. So I think it's got its pros and its cons, because familiar name means that people are going to be like, oh, I remember this group. It was this was I's group, and then like they might think that might help them bring people to them. But when it comes to the name, I think it's an interesting choice. Obviously, they're trying with the revival thing, and they're starting with the YouTube. I liked how they were talking about the idol culture is now fueled by the online presence. This kind of shows the modern, like the show is kind of trying to reflect the modern times, what's happening in the world at the moment. So I think we'll see. I think we'll just have to see how these guys are gonna do. They just introduced themselves, and I don't think we'll know the potential of their group until we see them start doing shows and stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, they need to definitely be on the grind, be in the lab, writing those songs, those choreography pieces, putting it together. and hopefully in the upcoming episodes we will get to see that, get to grow with them, and learn more in regards to the potential of become OSHI. What are kind of your last thoughts on the episode as a whole, bro?
I feel like I say this every week, but another great episode. I think they're doing a good job with the pacing of the series. Another episode with a lot of information, a lot of different segments, stories moving in a good direction, and I think if I'm correct, I know where it's gonna end. And I've got two ideas of where it's gonna end, but if it ends where I think it will end, it'll be good. And I like how they've introduced this new arc with the reality TV show. I'm really excited because this is like one of the I really liked this arc in the manga, and it's gonna have some great moments. They're hitting on the comedy too. The whole PM Mon dance, absolutely hilarious. I know there's gonna be some memes from that because they had no business. Just it was they fully animated it, just music, and then just having them dance is funny. But yeah, they're doing a great job, and I'm ready for episode 6. So yeah.
Yeah, likewise, man. Definitely, like very elite. We say it almost every week at this point. Like you said, I loved, even especially the pacing of this episode, how they're able to get a lot of content in without it being crammed or like they're speeding through sections. Like a lot of depth is still being provided to us, and everything is definitely being handled at such a high level, especially with our kind of prior experience of reading the manga. So I'm very excited to see how they continue to kind of embark on this journey, where it goes, how they hopefully they keep hitting on their high notes, and bringing us some soulful and really kind of thought-provoking moments, and also the added element of the educational, learning a lot more about industry practice and how behind the scenes of kind of these show archetypes, like these kind of show types. Hopefully you get to see more of those, especially in regards to idols. So I'm definitely excited. I really appreciate all of you guys continuing to listen to us, continue to vibe with us. But we'll keep coming up with these bangers. We'll keep releasing these because we're really enjoying discussing this show as it continues to hype up. Follow us on Insta, and as shown on your page in front of you, and the AK Mindset on Twitter. Really appreciate it, guys, and I hope you guys have a good week. Drink your water, usual.
Of course, every time.
All the time. Catch you in a bit.
Peace.
Love you.